Singapore real estate is really expensive. Even Hong Kong real estate, despite all the dropping, expensive. New Zealand, Australian real estate's expensive. Middle Eastern real estate expensive. New York City, despite the migrant crisis, still very pricey. And places like Florida, Texas, Nevada are rising in price. But what about good old San Francisco? What about our tech capital? Is this tech capital still having good condos and good real estate prices? Well, short answer is absolutely not. If you look at this 2-bed, 2-bath, recently it's just sold for $1.275 million. It might be extremely expensive, but this is a very high-end condo. It's a duplex. It got a staircase and a good backyard. These types of condos generally go for a lot of money in all the cities I listed in the beginning of the video. Check this out. This condo was sold back in 2014 for $1.2 million. Back then, $1.2 million was a very expensive price tag because there wasn't any money printing, and $1 million 10 years ago is generally worth way more than it is now. So $1.2 million, that's a very pricey house right there. If you go to the suburbs back then in like Cincinnati or Nashville, get yourself like 2 to 3 houses. But now look at that price. The dude sold it for $1.275 million, and 10 years of crazy high HOA fees, property tax, and home insurance basically ate away at this guy's profits. Not to mention, if you just spend that money on any location in most of the free world, you could basically get a very, very good price appreciation. If you check this out, this is Singapore, by the way. Back in 2014, if you bought a home here, you are up a lot. In fact, prices have nearly doubled, and some properties in Singapore have tripled in the 10-year period. If you bought stock in the NASDAQ, you're up almost 1,000%. So if you look into this, you kind of get the idea, right? So many of these people absolutely got bamboozled. They bought into this very expensive condo sector, this very expensive city, and now they're basically left holding the bag. Now, residential is okay, but commercial real estate is being sold for about 50% off. Now, there's a reason why San Francisco is so bad. San Francisco's office vacancies at 36% in the fourth quarter, with rumors at 40 to 43% by the end of 2024. And the reason why is pretty simple. I mean, would you want to locate your company in a place like this? And no, this isn't some third world country. This isn't, some mad, crazy city outside the US. This is San Francisco. This is like a block away from the Twitter headquarters. This is like a few blocks away from the Salesforce Tower. This is where Uber, Lyft, and Reddit are all located. This is where Microsoft and Meta have stationed their headquarters. Walk a little further down, you'll probably get to the Airbnb HQ. It doesn't help when you go to Oakland and you try to go to the local Home Depot, and this is where you have to drive through. What does this look like? If I didn't tell you this was Oakland, you probably thought this was a war zone. But no, this is Oakland, California. And drive a little further down, you'll get to Kaiser, one of the biggest funds in the world. You'll get to the Pfizer headquarters of California. You'll get to the Clorox HQ, all big corporations I just listed. And they are stationed literally right next to like slums and like burnt cars and tents and scenes that look like some refugee camp or a war zone. This is what San Francisco Bay looks like, and I don't blame a lot of these people from leaving the city. And I kind of see why other cities in the world are going up in price, but San Francisco is going backwards. And you know what's really funny about this? There's like one location in all of the Bay Area that's actually outselling every single condo building. And that's in the Yerba Bueno Island. This is literally an island. Let me show you guys this on Google Maps. This is where it is. This island right here, which is situated between San Francisco and Oakland. When you want to go from San Francisco to Oakland or vice versa, you have to cross the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge, which actually goes through this tiny little island, which initially had no grocery stores. It has no condos, no apartments. So it's just kind of like this weird island that nobody wanted. But now condo complexes like the Bristol and also the island residencies are selling out with record prices like I showed you of $3.2 million, a record price for the island, when the whole entire Bay Area, like San Francisco and Oakland, are experiencing the new record for the lowest price ever recorded for real estate. And the reason why this is popular is, one, there's still some business being done in Oakland and San Francisco, but people don't want to live in these places because it's so crazy. So why not literally live on an exclusive island? And there's even a grocery store. You don't actually have to leave this island. You could go to this grocery store right here. It's not really that big. There's a winery right there. There's some cafes. There's some restaurants. There's even whole entire new apartment buildings now being made on this island. Just think about that. It seems like the rich have finally found a new playground. And the condos aren't exactly super pricey either. Like the one bedrooms start at about 1.2 million. And they're getting very popular. And by the way, the parking spaces are super expensive. If you want to buy a parking spot here, it's like $115,000. It's super pricey. But you get the idea, right? You got the Coast Guard right there. You even got like a fire department over there. Like, it's actually a pretty good place to live, all things considered. If I'm forced to do business in San Francisco, I'll much rather live on these islands and just commute to work every day on the bridge. That's just me. This is happening everywhere in America. Okay, it just seems like the Bay Area is getting worse and worse by the day, with more and more companies leaving, more and more corporations taking their employees with them. And it seems like many of these big cities are no longer glorious like it was back in the old days. Just look at the real estate prices. It's pretty sad. Thanks for watching, guys. Comment below. How would you guys fix the Bay Area?